My name is Libby Harding, and I'm a public services librarian here at the London Public Library. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, a special evening of poetry and community. Tonight, we are honored to showcase the voices of two local gifted poets, Penn Kemp and Jennifer Wen, who will be reading from their new poetry collections, Ordinary Moving and Emergence. Musical accompaniment is courtesy of Anne Helga Denny. So I'd like to start this evening by expressing gratitude at this beautiful time in the season with the last whispers of summer and its flowers as we begin to prepare for the colder weather. We are gathering on the treaty and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, of the Chippewas of the Thames First Nation, and the Lenape of the Munsee Delaware Nation. This is also the treaty and traditional territory of the Oneida Nation. We honor and respect the history, languages, and culture of the diverse Indigenous peoples who call this territory home and their stewardship of this land. This land acknowledgement is the first step towards reconciliation. Thank you for sharing this reflection. Okay, so this is how tonight will go. Tonight we'll hear from Penn Kemp and Jennifer Wen. Anne Denny will be accompanying Penn's poetry. After the poetry reading and discussion, you'll have the opportunity to ask the authors any questions you have. And then when the reading and the Q&A have concluded, please join Penn and Jennifer for a chance to get a signed copy of their book. And a big thank you to Mandala Books for being here this evening. So before we get started, we have a couple housekeeping points. The washrooms are located on the first floor, just right outside of the right outside of the library and across the hall. And if you've parked at City Plaza, you're eligible for 2 hours of free parking. You can see me through a parking slip, or you can also get one from the first floor help desk. Okay, so it's my pleasure to introduce our poets and musician. Poet, activist, and playwright Penn Kemp has celebrated a trailblazer since her first publication of poetry in 1972, and here at the library in the 2018 Women Trailblazers series. The League of Canadian Poets honored her with their inaugural Lifetime Achievement Award in 2025. Spoken Word Artist of the Year as a foremother of Canadian poetry and a life member. With 33 books published, Penn is active across the web and the London poetry community. The poems in Ordinary Moving appear thanks to a London Arts Council CAIP grant. Jennifer Wen is a trans-identified writer and speaker from London. Her first poetry chapbook was A Song of Milestones. Her first size collection was Hear Through the Silence. Her newest collection, launching today, is Emergence. She has also published poetry, reviews, and essays in numerous journals and anthologies. In 2023, she was honored to be chosen as an honorary Grand Marshal for London's Pride Parade. Visit her website for some more information. Anne Helga Denny is a Londoner with a passion for improvisation and experience as a professional singer in many genres. From hymns to indie rock, she draws on a multitude of influences and is thrilled to be a part of this poetry and collaboration. Please help me in welcoming Penn Kemp, Jennifer Wen, accompanied by Anne Helga Denny.
And thank you, Libby, for all your organization. Thank you to the London Library for all their excellent marketing and for you for coming out on this beautiful night. I'd also like to thank the League of Poets and London Arts Council for supporting this book through the Cape Grant, and to Anne for spontaneously erupting with me. So we're going to do a sort of musical collage through the poems, so please hold your wild applause till the end. Copper penny. If it were juice, a light cranberry tinged with grape. If wine, a sauterne, a bubbling rosé. If essential oil, neroli, the taste of tangerine. If scent, what the wind carries from May blossoms, hawthorn and lilac, lily of the valley intermingled. A confusion of delight ripe and ready to turn from cinnamon to ash gray. A vibration beyond ultraviolet, where illusions of color, shape, ginger, rainbow glints among fading memories. Strawberry blonde aging well to white. My grade 7 teacher, Miss Morgan, told me years later that she would sit me in the window so she could enjoy sun shining on my hair. Senses interprets synesthesia as taste or scent. Auburn, chestnut, carrot, scarlet, flame, hey, red, gobbling up youth, inhaling 8 decades pass. All Hallows. We've celebrated Halloween. We've drunk and danced and heard a guitar nimbly played. Midnight after the party, close to the time of year we first met. And time to celebrate Saturday night. Little trick-or-treaters have long since left for home. Our masks are back on the wall once more. I am lying on our double bed with my husband deep inside me. Soon he rolls out and off with a satisfied groan now deepening into snore. But I, between these soft sheets, do not sleep. For there, before my wide open eyes, cumulus clouds collect somewhere just below the ceiling in another nearly here dimension from a Renaissance painting by Raphael that should properly be hanging now in the Uffizi, not our suburban flat. This palimpsest is fading. I have lost my own memory in contemplating art. Substitution has set in. Realities clash. Return to that long ago present, nearly here and attempting to get even nearer. mind the gap, no loitering allowed.
It's love's illusions I recall.
Between All Saints' Eve and All Saints' Day, something new slips in, slips up and undercover between the sheets. A slice of future parachutes down to land here on fertile common ground. Just when nature is ready to rest in her 6 months sleep.
I really don't know life at all.
Sowing summer's end, winter's start. The Celts call this most magic cusp, when all our dead return to be feasted, and hungry ghosts hover to slip through straws. The Celts' New Year begins in deepest dark, with all potentiality present and possible.
Now it's just another show. You even laugh and when you
Let us scry through obsidian to clear day. Fairyland doors open on this night. Any manner of beings can slip through. Either way, at the birth of a new month, November. Penultimate of this long, stretching year be 1969. Time has not yet speeded up. Halloween, I return again and again to the scene where you descended. You dropped in from the clouds, determined cherub, climbed off the wall of your plaster molding. Like all the toys who aspire to flesh and bone, you wanted in. And you are welcomed with astonishment, though I don't as yet know you. I'm a quarter of a century old, and I've long been waiting and wanting this moment fulfilled, this annunciation.
I've looked at clouds from both sides now.
As the clouds, royal as the clouds, billow, they shape themselves into a myriad of cherubs, beaming down, plump-cheeked toddlers on a roll, cupids with a gleam in their eyes, so intent on getting into this womb that lies open before them like a red welcome blanket, a baby bassinet. a gift of life they gladly take. Why, I can't tell. I can just determine the yearning for new form, new flesh, for beginning all over. Clouds, royal clouds tussle, a shape up in heaven reveals one dominant shape that solidifies into a specific face. This cherub is mine as I am his. He has chosen with the ferocity of a Cupid's dart. His aim is sure. He already has my heart, and now he enters my womb home for the next 9 months. Nearly 10 to be precise, but who's counting those long, hot August nights that await me? The clouds roll back as on a chateau ceiling to reveal blue day as new harmonies of light. Triumphant peons blare praise to the winds. Others recede into wisps of might-have-beens, turn to search elsewhere for nests where they too might burrow. This one has won. He who is about to be child has descended. No doubt as to his being, he's the one constant. I see this child as he would be turning 2. The wide brow, the fair hair, the cheeky grin, and cunning Cupid's bow. More than that, the roads diverged, and I saw what he might be, what he might become. 3 roads, 3 different ways. I have told my son once he was growing and had already lived out 2 of those ways. But these I cannot divulge to you. Wombs may gape, clouds may pour, but the rest is his story to tell. For Ula, her orbit of ellipses. My granddaughter is going as Wonder Woman for Halloween. She's practicing swinging her lariat of truth. So I'm reading up on Artemis, protectress of young girls, and the archetype for our current Wonder Woman. Arrow to hand, she alights on the mark, drawing her bow on intruders. Artemis herds young Artoi, girls of 8 or so, away from Paulus the city into wilder woods where she reigns queen, and they, her willing apprentices, stay snared till puberty. Artoi, little bears. They follow their great bear into the chase. and Orion hides, the hunter hunted and flung out to constellation. My granddaughter will go trick-or-treating and return gleeful with a sack full of eternal returns. Silicon Valley. Do you remember the days when silicon was an element central to sand? The sense of grit between your toes? By the river, just beyond the reverberating slap of the old screen against the door jamb where wood never quite met wood and was kept together by hook in eye. It was revolutionary then to discover silicon also sprouted in the segments of scrawny horsetail that surrounded the house as soon as sand met any sort of soil. You'd chew the stalk thoughtfully, its brittle twist into saliva, thinking dinosaur. This plant alive at the same time and huge, the way the past is, thrown by a trick of light, projected onto shadow out of all proportion. Yourself, the size of an ant in a jungle of horsetail. And then the thud of approaching brontosaurus. Its jaws dripping green weeds the size of trees. Its wet eye unable to focus on anything as small as you at the age of 7. Drawing conclusions, grade 9, Medway High. In our first science class, the teacher instructed us to bring next day a drawing of the beaker of water and retort stand he'd carefully set up on his desk. I knew a still life when I saw one. As I'd inherited some skill from my father, a painter, my pencil sketched and shaded the objects with artful nuance. My composition displayed a proper balance of proportion and form. The teacher chose 2 drawings to illustrate his point. One was mine, of course, chosen for its beauty. The other was a clumsy, childish depiction of a cup in 3 straight lines. The water inside, my new classmate had drawn as simple horizontal dashes. I shuddered at the scorn my teacher would display, poor dear, and she the daughter of a math professor. You've guessed the end of the story. The end of an illustrious science career. Holding my daughter aloft for all to holding my drawing aloft for all to sneer along, the man mocked its stillborn life. A right salute, left salute, ordinary moving. Ordinary moving, left foot, right foot, one hand, the other hand. Curtsy, salutesy, cross your heart, and away she goes.
What's up?
Not I. Down again. But not for the count. Laid up, lying down and counting the days till I can get up again. Again. A loss. What's the difference? But still unsettled, restless, twitchy, agitated, on edge, over the edge, on edge, over the edge, twitchy, restless, unsettled, restless, over the edge, me up, stirring, whisk, rouse, rise, riley, wise, rouse, 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 wilder, elder. Play the game. One foot, the other foot. Each motion opens to a moment. The poem as glimpse into a life. We all kill ourselves eventually. Inevitably. My beloved is diabetic, but sneaks sweet treats. My heart is weak, but I stress it. Taking on way too much. My friend needs a drink on the hour. Another devours junk food. One more throws tantrums despite family history of heart failure. I strain my eyes, editing on screen till holes burn in dear maculae. Degeneration all round. Defenses up. Excuses proliferate. What's mine may differ in degree from yours, but not in kind, in kind, in kind, in kind. Kindness comes first, comes last, for the duration. Kindness endures, kindness
Kindness comes first.
Kindness
Comes for the
Kindness
duration.
endure.
Kindness
Last. Ordinary moving through the seasonal cyclic completion into another, the next, with joy.
The seasonal cycling.
With joy, trepidation,
The next.
and dread.
Trepidation.
Through the seasonal
And dread.
cyclic completion, another, the next, with joy, trepidation, and dread. We anticipate win some, lose some, looking wisdom, wizardry, we anticipate another win some, lose some, looking for wisdom. Thank you. Had to get some poetry in there.
Wouldn't be you without that. Yeah, that's fine. I'll speak. I think so. Testing. Sounds okay. Thank you, Penn and Ann. Where's Ann? Oh, there she is. It's wonderful to do this with you tonight. Appreciate it very much. Tough act to follow. Boy. And thanks to the library and Libby Harding for all their work in putting this on. Thank you for coming. And I know some of you, a few of you made a special effort to get here, and I appreciate that very much. First, no music this time. We're at the change of season, so I'm going to do a piece called Seasonal Suite, and you may hear a linkage between its four sections that kind of takes it all around in a circle. Spring. Welcome at long last, ushering winter into rest after its long labors, herald of warmth and verdure to follow in your wake. Tarry a while and bless us with your freshness and hope. Summer. Freshness and hope surges to glorious bloom. Trees burst to osmose, sun in full glory. Life's voluptuous high noon. Vernal descendant, infuse us with your flowing power. Autumn. Flowing power, bring forth flaming color and groaning harvest. Gift us with your zenithal abundance, ease from warmth to crisp cool, then soften to maturity and release. Winter. Maturity and release, guide the sun through its nadir, wrap us in blankets of cold beauty, incubating hidden, waiting life. Rest and transfiguration, welcome at long last. One of the things that I sometimes do are writing haiku as almost a palate cleanser of sorts. And when I do, I often do them in little triptychs. And here's one, and for those of you in London, you may know Warbler Woods in the far west of the city. It's just a stone throw from where I am. 3 haiku for Warbler Woods. 1. Undulating path through vernal awakening, trillium cordon. 2. Still unseen souls watch, nebulous feeling explode. There, dear flash away. 3. Winged concerto rides woodpecker percussion, silencing footfalls. Another type of poem that I do are ekphrastic pieces, those that respond to other works of art, especially visual art. And I've got a little section on that sort of thing in this book. And I'm going to do one of those. It's called Pollock's Dance, after number 31, 1950, by Jackson Pollock. Up ahead, pulsing on the wall, lonely, larger than life, an intricate multi-layered web poised to ensnare in a fractal labyrinth vibrating to primeval rhythms. Black, silver, and ochre edge splotches rim a zone where at last a voice was transiently found away from addiction's deadly cacophony. Black striations cast from the unconscious dashed down a diagonal, interlaced with white filigree, weaving a harmonic balance. Ochre stick figures behind the veil flash in primal surge and flow with hidden portraits, all knit together by teal and gray webbing, the quiet foundation for a dance of drip, pour, and fling. Gaze down, genuflect, and circle your once and future monumental canvas. Swirl in sub-rosa silhouettes, sling the foundation splashes, decant knots of pain and joy, sweep, sidestep, sweep, sidestep, sweep, sidestep, gently drizzle and dribble, slash and lash, lovingly trickle and trill, skip round and round, circle and wheel, coil and meander, flick step, flick step, flick step, drip, fling, and pour forth this eternal moment, a priceless interlude reaped from a drunken whirlwind, consuming death defied by passionate life. Another thing I do are narrative pieces, telling a story of one sort or another. And this one is based on a true story. I'm not going to do all of it for time reasons. There's a bit of local history here, as you'll find out. It's called The Ballad of Margaret Murphy. I'm jumping partway through. Suffice it to say, she's an Irish immigrant, came to southwestern Ontario, hired by David and Frances Hagerman, who had 3 little daughters. As summer 1837 faded into fall, Hagerman's walls hummed with the master's complaints. The family compact in York control everything. They're corrupt, filched a pile of land hereabouts for the Church of England. Floors, meanwhile, hummed with the relentless swish of Margaret's broom. Just back from Burford's Inn, David trumpeted. William Lyon Mackenzie in York is the hope. Dr. Duncombe is our man here. We've got the Norwich Political Union now. I'm the quartermaster. We're not letting this stand. And on it went. What next? Wondered Miss Murphy, crouched low, cleaning out the fireplace. Fall wore into winter. December stole in. Rebel officers met at Hagerman's. Nervous whispers of "but treason" swept aside by glorious cries of taking up arms to help Mackenzie, Duncombe's brigade coming together, and on it went. Trouble, thought Margaret, cleaning up detritus from the great conclave. December 12th, Margaret, remember this day? Cross and Davis wouldn't give up their guns, but we got supplies from Wallace's store. Duncombe has a sword, pistols, and a dagger. Mackenzie's taken York. We are off to capture Brantford. That's all well and good, muttered Margaret, but I'm off to the laundry and linens. It's all fallen apart. We only got to Burford. Mackenzie failed. The Queen's militia is marching. Duncombe is a coward and vanished. Luke Peasley is hiding in a swamp. I can't stay. The loyalists are looking for me. Francis, take care of the girls. Margaret, you are in charge here now. Farewell. Rumors were flying through town. Loyalists said to be on the rampage, not just hunting men on the run, but scavenging for abandoned loot. Brave and hospitable, so ran the Murphy motto. The first part leapt to the fore. The second stepped into the shadows. Floors, fireplaces, and laundry gave way to fearless command. The day well and truly seized. If they're coming, I need to be ready. I think I know where he keeps a couple of convincing helpers. I'll be damned if that rabble gets anything here. Wild Irish shores birthed the Murphy name centuries ago. Sea warrior, the noble wellspring. A long way from the coast was Margaret, but the martial blood ran true. A long way from the ocean, and no trident here, but a land-bound kindred implement awaited her tenacious grasp. Up strode the mob, all bluster and swagger. Hagerman's gone to ground. Easy pickings here. But in the doorway stood an Irish lass, hair a-billowing, savage look in her eye, 2 pistols stuck in her belt, angry pitchfork primed and ready. By God, you'll get nothing here. Secret words and appeals to reason availed not but oaths and imprecations, smirks soon soured to grim realization, threats beget counter-threats, haughty barging in quashed by tines to the throat or a gun barrel to the gut. You can all go to hell, you'll get nothing here. Defeated by implacable feminine will, would-be pillagers slunk off in search of easier plunder, pistols and pitchforks showing them the way, assorted curses ringing in their ears, young Margaret looming triumphant, spirit ablaze with history in the moment. The government did change, but not yet. Hagerman caught and tried for high treason, acquitted to the shock of many, returning home to an intact house, 30 years of a henceforth peaceful life, and a servant named Margaret, still cleaning, but never the same again. One of the other things that I try to do is correct erasures as much as I can in my little way, especially where trans folks are concerned. And there is one longish multi-section piece called Empress in the book to that end. The epigraph goes, the highly controversial Roman leader known to us as Elagabalus was born around 203 CE in Emesa, Syria, and became ruler of the empire in 218 CE at age 14. Now, I'm going to, and this is of course a true story, my dramatization and expansion of it, I guess you could say. I'm going to do 4 sections through it. It's too long to do the whole thing. And I'll start with the first section, which is called Empress, and it acts as the beginning of a frame. So there's this piece, and then there's a lot of flashbacks, and then there's a final one. The first one is called Denarius. Call me Empress, that feels right. Not Emperor, as all designate me. Some years ago, the throne became mine. Proof is in my hand, a little silver denarius, day's wage for a foot soldier, sporting my profile, youthful, pretty, laurel wreath, of course, alas for a tiara, and my eyes, soft, ample, looking for answers, no, searching first for questions. And I'll skip ahead, 2 sections to one called Dance. Through a distant mirror, I recall a beautiful child, journey back and feel gentle robes confer a modicum of peace, but a voice still called, a veiled ghost still haunted, so I danced and let it sweep me away, lost in the shimmer and whirl, skip and leap into a priceless moment, melding with swish and sway, hidden from nameless longings that wait to push and pull. On another couple to one called Purple. The sovereign moment comes, driven by grandmother's relentless plotting in quest of the crowning purple, putting it about royal cousin Caracalla, a year murdered and 2 emperors ago, had an illegitimate son, namely me. Another role I embrace. First, charm the legions, for everyone and everything tells me I am destined and ready to be emperor myself, to stand, young as I am, manly and proud astride the civilized world. All save the soft spectral voice I will banish. We ride then, fly forth to battle at Antioch. Gannus, my tutor, our newly anointed yet suddenly brilliant general. But at the crisis, Mama and Grandmother take the field, rally the troops, and I charge at the head, sword held high, cleaving bodies and flashing at ghostly whispers until the setting sun bled out and engulfed me in purple. And the last one I'll do, another 3 sections on, is called Mystery. They haunt me day and night, flesh and blood avatars of Venusian sanctity, replete with boundless soft curves, skin smooth as Emerson silk, melodious voices, and the intoxicating cleft of glorious, subtle beauties. I surround myself with them, but long to possess all of it, long to be so desired and celebrated, to be at the center of such a wonderful mystery. And I'll leave the rest for you, hopefully, to read the rest of the story. I've got and one other piece I've got in here, farther on, different type entirely. It's called Triplicity. Unsurprisingly, it's got 3 parts. The first is called Regarding a Housefly. The last one is called Tierce, and I'm going to do the middle one, which is called Death in the Afternoon. And there's an epigraph with apologies and thanks to Ernest Hemingway and Seamus Heaney. Summer's denouement was the wasp's cue. In turn, I had, cleverly I thought, baited a fancy trap and started this sunny afternoon contentedly eyeing casualties. Next to the watering can, startled by a large arthropodic drowning victim. Per 2020, my thoughts raced to, it's a murder hornet. Per my more grounded millennial son, it was a cicada. Then past skittering chipmunks grown smug since Marcus reached the canine beyond, and to the lower part of my haven for some quality time with a lawn chair and Seamus Heaney. The imperious flute over my left shoulder startled me out of glorious poetic lyricism into conjunction with its material embodiment. Not 5 feet away, base of the stairs, down from the arbor, a magnificent red-tailed hawk, glowing with athleticism and inevitability, an artist in his realm, bristling with deadly intensity in this moment, had swooped underneath the oaken canopy and was now clutching a formerly complacent chipmunk in his talons. I was well and truly seen, pinioned and humbled, and yet comforted under his penetrating gaze, induced to remain basking in eloquent physicality until one majestic motion launched him away. Feeling the book again in my hands, swathed in Seamus's ethereal smile. Now, this next one is another one I'm going to jump partway into. As a trans person, things are sometimes challenging, shall we say, especially in the environment that we find ourselves in today. It's getting worse and worse. This piece is called Crossing Lines, and as a trans woman, one of the most important days in my calendar is November 20th, the Transgender Day of Remembrance. And this piece was written with that in mind. As I say, I'm going to jump partway through it, but you'll catch up to what's going on. But officialdom is not the end of it. Too many of us, wherever we are, incur the deadly wrath of the mob or the lone predator. Witness Dwayne, not so many years ago. What line did she cross? Wanted to socialize as herself for the first time. Consequence? Beaten, stabbed, shot, and run over by self-appointed defenders of gender. Final words as she stood her ground, I'm a girl. And here is Nikki, much more recent. Her line, went on a date. Upon trans identity being disclosed, her sensitive companion felt no option but to strangle her with a phone charger cord and dump her on a hillside. Or consider Alexa, homeless, who was hunted down and assassinated for the unpardonable sin of using the ladies' room. And on the blood-soaked list goes. Dwayne, Nikki, Alexa, just 3 of far too many. I honor them and their bravery. I cry out that they blessed creation with priceless value and meaning. I refuse to forget their senseless, tragic, and often horrific deaths. I mourn lives cut far too short. I mourn potential unrealized. I mourn for those who cared about them. I weep for their awful suffering. I rage and howl at a world that still harbors hatred such as this. My name is Legion, hissed the demon, and some would cast us in the same role, would likewise cast us into swine to be drowned, but we aren't going anywhere, for we are children of God. We are a host demanding the erasure of all those infernal lines, demanding an end to the hatred and violence, demanding justice for the victims and judgment for the guilty. demanding space free from fear alongside everyone else, celebrating our wondrous and excruciating journeys and the wisdom only they can bring forth, celebrating our incomparable beauty and strength. For yes, we are a host, living in spirit, with gifts for humanity beyond measure, that was in the front line at Stonewall, then somehow pushed off the progress train. But no more, never again. We aren't going anywhere, for yes, we are children of God. We are a host demanding the eradication of those infernal lines, demanding an end at last to the hatred and violence, demanding justice now for the victims and judgment for the guilty, demanding space for all of us free from fear, celebrating our wondrous and excruciating journeys and the wisdom only they have brought forth, celebrating our incomparable beauty and strength. For yes, we are a host with gifts for humanity beyond measure, and we will finally claim our place in the sun. Indeed, we will haunt the earth till doomsday in unceasing quest of that better tomorrow. Now for something completely different. Take it down a few notches. This is called On Contemplating a Ruined Abbey. Think England. Cragged bones thrust out of English countryside, naked stony roots reaching for absolution and completion amidst meadow and rain, under sun and avian serenade. Fascinated from the first, I wander through, and in peaceful moments, lost archaic memories are still here, flitting and whispering in the shadows, resting places for venerable relics, quiet cloisters and cells, chant-echoing sculpted walls and ceilings, all raised by faith for beautification and celebration and glorification. A monument to humility and simplicity, endowed with wealth and privilege. For here too were money and treasures, petrifying lifetimes of humble labor and power conferred by possession and churchly authority. A glittering and prideful tide that drove humble spirit to lonely corners, until swept in a jealous king and his minions, hungering for riches to support worldly affairs, grasping for ecclesiastical domination, no resistance brooked. The shrine to divine glory rendered a desecrated shell for the greed of later times to pillage even further. Those naked, cragged bones endure, stripped of edificial flesh and sinew, open air embraced, granting space for reveried reconstruction, beckoning to be clothed in vision, once superior and sealed off, now exposed and accessible, once witness to violence and avarice, now intimating peaceful vulnerability, stony supplicants forever in communion with all of creation. The last section is called Slender Fire Races Under My Skin. It's dedicated to the ancient Greek poetess Sappho, and that's a quote from her. And she has suffered an incredible amount of erasure. We have bits and pieces and little fragments that have come down. The erasure in some cases was just neglect. In other cases, it was deliberate, malicious book burning, 900 years ago or thereabouts. There's a number of pieces in this section, and they're all sort of based on some of the stuff that she has left us. One I'll do, thinking partly about the time of year, is called Cicada. And there's one of her fragments is on the cicada, so I did one inspired by that. Song's desire is universal, but expression is a variegated gift. Varied too are the cues. At summer's apotheosis, heat and light insist that autumn can wait. Nature bursts with possibility, aching for serenade, and into the breach steps the cicada. Unlovely to many, beloved by a few, its insistent voice a shrill buzz to some ears, yet listen deeper. The language unfamiliar, the means exotic, but a chorus of heartfelt alleluias nonetheless. Welcome. Sing the celebration for us. Final piece. The biggest section, the biggest chunk that we have from Sappho is a prayer to the Greek goddess of love, Aphrodite. And so, inspired by what she did, I have one called For Aphrodite, Wherever She May Be. Where are you now? Sappho knew, all those centuries ago, invited you from Crete to her temple graced with apple trees, altars fragrant with frankincense, and horses grazing in a flower-garlanded meadow. My inducements are much more modest. No perfumed shrine, and the lovely great pastures are now mostly paved over. I do hold on to a small plot, not what you are used to, not for a long while redolent of youth, but maybe there are other beauties enticing in their own way. There's even a tiny meadow, I'm proud of that. No lovely horses, but lots of squirrels, the occasional rabbit or raccoon, or even a groundhog, and plenty of my bird friends. As for your love of apple trees, I do understand. Long ago I claimed an old orchard as my own, slipped away alone, child though I was, to wander its quiet rows, swing on welcoming branches, caress the gnarled trunks. Sadly, another sacrifice to modernity. They've been gone many years, except in my heart, where they blossom anew. Alas then, no apple trees here, but two magnificent oaks shelter my little woodland and a natal patch of luscious blackberries. So wherever you may be, wherever you have taken refuge, a humble grove awaits. Come leaven this offering with your special joy. Thank you very much.
Going to take a few minutes break so you can buy our books, but also, after you've bought our books, you can also read the ones you haven't bought. They're all of them in London Library, most of them in Central and in the London Room. So please do buy them. Mandala Books has so kindly set us up, and there they are. So.
And come back for the Q&A.
And then we'll come back for a Q&A with us and with you. So prepare your questions, challenge us. See you soon, or see you over there. And you want, if you want.